Good evening, sir. Good
Good
evening,
evening.
sir.
Please sit down.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
What is your name?
So my name is Hamsa Shree N A.
And we called you what? Hamsa Shree or NA?
Hamsa, sir.
Hamsa. So Miss Hamsa, first time you have cleared mains?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Sit, relax. Let your back touch the back of the chair.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about yourself.
Yes, sir. So I was born and brought up in Bangalore. I have done my computer science engineering from University Vishveshwaraya College of Engineering, UVCE. Both my parents are associate professors and I have a little brother. I love to dance and read books, sir.
Your parents are professors in which subject?
So both of them are associate professors in sociology.
But you haven't taken sociology. Why?
Yes, sir. So when I started preparing for UPSC, I felt that I was more interested in international relations and political science.
Or were you fed up listening to sociology from your parents at home all the time? So you said, let me have a change, is it?
Not necessarily, sir. I do love to listen to them, but not necessarily.
You're from Bangalore. Tell me, Bangalore traffic is horrible. Why is it so? And why it has not been sorted out?
Yes, sir. The traffic is increasingly getting worse to some extent because there's a huge immigration, sir. The economy in Bangalore is booming, and because of the presence of IT industry, etc., there's a huge immigration. However, the problem lies in the fact that we are not able to tackle the high amount of immigration that we have. So the roads that we have are comparatively less.
Is it immigration or is it the transport being used by the immigrants?
Yes, sir. I stand corrected. It is to a large extent the transport that is being used by immigrants. A lot of times the IT hubs, they're situated in far off places as compared to the homes.
That is precisely the question. Why was it not planned? Why it has not been sorted out?
Yes, sir. So there was a huge boom in urban development from 2003. And the expansion of roads and infrastructure has not caught up to the extent. In Bangalore,
but surely all the expansion is not taking place within the city. It must be in the outskirts, no? Then?
So there are three major bodies that take care of the development of Bangalore Municipal City: the BMRDA, Bangalore Municipal Corporation, and as well as BMRCL, sir, that has been recently added. So there were communication based disturbances between these three, and city planning is taken up by BMRDA. However, tier 2 development has been taken by
please
BMC.
Answer my question. Why it has not been sorted out? That you're not answering, you're explaining to me.
So the expansion has to be taken care of outside of Bangalore as well. So tier 2 and tier 3 cities have not been considered as well as...
Tell me why the problem has not been sorted out for so many years. Traffic problem. Is it incompetence?
To a certain extent, yes, sir.
To what extent? 20%, 50%, 80%?
So I would say that incompetence along with other factors have played a huge role.
Tell me, list the factors please. This is what I am asking you. List the factors.
So the growth of Bangalore as a major provision for workforce.
Good.
Secondly, educational institutions that are there in Bangalore. A lot of students come to study.
Okay.
Thirdly, bus transport, sir. Last mile connectivity is...
So that means there was no planning at all initially that city will expand. What's being done now?
Yes, sir. So new lines of public transport has been released by BMTC and KSRTC. Secondly, sir, metro has been taken up, metro projects, metro lines are being expanded, so public transport is being worked on.
Achha, tell me, you're a student of the political science and international relations. Tell me, India should have presidential form of government according to me, because in India votes are sought in the name of the Prime Minister. When Jawaharlal Nehru was there, it was in his name, and Indira Gandhi in his name, now Mr. Modi in his name. So why not have presidential form of government like we have in USA, for example? Like now Turkey has also just introduced that system. Many countries have it. Advantage being that once you get elected, you attract the best talent from any field to man your various ministerial positions, which is good for the country. In the present system, you are bound by the elected people and you have to take care of the caste, the religion, the area, this, that, what all that. What is your view?
Yes, sir. So, of course, presidential system has its own set of perks. However, sir, in our country, we have traditionally given more importance to accountability. So,
You mean
having a
there's
presidential...
there's no accountability there?
So, once elected, the president sits in the office for a certain set
Here,
of
here
fixed...
also, once elected, the Prime Minister continues, no?
Yes, sir. However, technically, we have issues such as gaining the trust of the people, and there are possibilities where once the government loses the trust of people, they can be removed.
People or Parliament?
Parliament who represent the view of the people, sir.
Okay, so then what?
So, in this instance, the government can be removed if it is not performing up to the extent that citizens have expected.
But if you have the best talent, then why will you fail?
Yes, sir. So right now the government is also working on getting more best.
Is that the only reason you are giving in your favor or anything else also?
So best talent can also be attracted through extra appointments that the government is currently considering right now. So we can cover that along with so building the democratic soil, as Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has said.
No, there also you have elected MPs. There are also two houses there also.
Yes, sir.
Don't you know? In
Yes,
America, yes.
The Congress and...
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Ms. Hamsa,
Yes, sir.
on the Kaveri River water dispute,
Yes.
which side are you on, Tamil Nadu or Karnataka?
Sir, I don't think choosing sides per se is the way to go.
But who is wrong? Okay, let's frame the question differently. Who is wrong?
So politically speaking, I think both sides have a role to play.
Not politically, in your opinion.
Proper and appropriate water sharing has to be followed, and the 3.7 million
Which
TMC.
state is not following this?
So
Why are you so reluctant? Obviously it is Karnataka,
yes, sir.
isn't it?
Okay, sir.
Because during the lean season they don't release water. Therefore there are problems down the line. Now, other than Kaveri, what are the other river water disputes in India, interstate?
So I can recall Punjab and Haryana, the river water dispute between the two states right now. We also have Mulla Periyar Dam between Kerala, Tamil Nadu. Again, the same river flows to Karnataka as well. That's all I can recall right now, sir.
Krishna.
Yes, sir.
Krishna River, Karnataka again is a party.
Yes, sir.
What about the India-Pakistan river water dispute?
Yes, sir.
Indus water rivers.
Yes, sir.
What are the 5 rivers?
So Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Byas, and Satluj.
And who is at fault here?
So I would say India is definitely not at fault. We, as the upper riparian state, we have more than fulfilled our obligations according to the Indus Water Treaty. Even when the treaty was formed, more than what was required was given to Pakistan in consideration of maintaining friendly relations.
How much
with
was given to Pakistan?
I'm so sorry, sir. I
Okay.
cannot recall the number.
India last year sent a notice to
Yes,
Pakistan
sir. Yes, sir.
for renegotiation.
Yes, sir.
On what grounds?
Yes, sir. So as far as I can recall, it was on the grounds that the current river basin collection of water has changed, and thus we'll have to revise the treaty, sir. However, I've also read that there are other considerations as well. India's stand as no trade with terror, India's stance has also played a role in it.
Okay. Both your parents are professors.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about the Acer report.
So I'll have to read up on it. I'm so sorry, sir.
Can you tell
I
us? Can you tell us what reforms are needed in the education system,
Yes, sir.
higher education system? Since both your parents are probably in college.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Graduation, yes. Sir, one of the major reform that we have to do is, so do I talk in context of Karnataka? There's a
No,
huge,
no.
yes, sir. So there's a huge disparity with respect to regional basis. There are some centers of education such as Delhi, Bangalore, etc. However, access for education to rural people is really difficult, sir. Secondly, there's a huge disparity in terms of gender as well. There's about 27% of higher education retention for women, which is far less as compared to what is there for men. Thirdly, sir, about 40% of graduates currently are unemployable with respect to the standards that is required by the company. So we'll have to work on the quality of education that we are providing. Fourthly, sir, on a personal level, I believe that we should also include ethical along with social activities. For example, the community service activities in Japan, they are normal in the school and college education. So this is something that we can inculcate in our country.
So all of this will prepare us for the fourth industrial revolution.
Perhaps, sir. Yes, sir. Sure.
You're sure about that?
Now that you've mentioned it, I think we also should orient ourselves towards the best standards that are currently there, such as digital literacy that we have to improve. So that is something that we'll have to work on as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Miss Hamsa,
Yes, sir.
what is the meaning of your name, Hamsa?
Yes, sir. In my mother tongue, the word refers to the bird swan. In Hindi, it's Hans.
Hans.
Yes.
I thought so, but I wanted to check.
Yes, sir.
Now, why do you want to join the Foreign Service?
Yes, sir. So, firstly, the current position of India that is there in the international relations is extremely inspiring. Secondly, sir, as I've already mentioned, I was really interested in international relations as a subject. And thirdly, I believe that there's a huge opportunity, sir, for me as a person to develop and find joy in the foreign services.
So, you say you like to follow international relations.
International.
Can you tell me which were the 3 most important foreign visits of our Prime Minister last year,
Yes, sir.
in 2023?
So, may I take a moment?
Oh, sure. I'm asking you only 3. He visited many places.
Yes, sir.
Tell me which
So
you think
top
are the
3.
3 most important ones.
Yes, sir. Firstly, our Prime Minister's visit to Russia, it was,
Did he go to Russia last year?
yes, sir. In my understanding, yes, sir.
When?
In the month of March, I think, so I can't recall the date, but we have been working on our relations with Russia, so perhaps.
Okay, all right then.
Secondly, so his attendance in the, so I can't classify the top 3. I'm so sorry.
You're not able to remember. They were such high profile, important visits. And you follow international relations. And you can't tell me the 3. Okay, any 3 visits. You don't remember. All right, let's move on.
Sorry, sir.
Suppose you are taken into the Foreign Service.
Yes.
You know, you will be allotted a foreign language.
Yes.
And you'll be sent abroad to a country where that language is spoken, where you have to study it for a year, 2 years, pass the exam. Which language would you like to choose?
So French, sir.
Okay, now where would you like to go to study French?
France, sir, perhaps.
The President of France was visiting India. Tell me some of the important agreements, decisions that were taken during his visit.
Yes, sir. So the President of France had come for the ceremony yesterday for the Republic Day. One of the major agreement that we had taken was in the education sector. So we have open student exchange programs that has been signed on both ends, sir. Secondly, our defense cooperation has increased. In yesterday's meet, I cannot recall. However, the Rafale jets were displayed in the procession.
Apart from the Rafale, are there any fighter aircraft that we have purchased from France?
I cannot recall right now,
Okay,
sir.
now suppose you go to France. Tell me 3 cities which you would like to visit in France. You've chosen France. So now tell me 3 cities. All right, you
So
don't
I
know.
think Paris. Oh, okay.
All right. Now, surely you know what is meant by Pakistan's deep state.
Yes, sir.
What?
Pakistan's deep state generally refers to a non-elected body that exercises a certain level of political and
But I'm
economic
asking,
control.
what is Pakistan's deep state?
So Pakistan's deep state is referred generally to its military in the context of its military. The military of Pakistan got exceptional powers, especially because of its association with CENTO.
All right. What is the Pakistani deep state's policy towards India?
So the general aim is that the maintenance of the statehood of Pakistan is at the
That's what they say.
As a
I'm asking you about the deep state's policy towards India.
so their main status of contestation is that of Kashmir, sir. That they want control over Kashmir, and secondly, the existence of Pakistan is as an anti-Indian state. So that is the stance that they maintain, sir.
But what is the policy? What are they trying to do in furtherance of that policy?
So are you referring to terrorism?
Of course. That is their policy, state-sponsored terrorism.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me some of the major terrorist attacks which the deep state of Pakistan has organized through non-state actors?
So the first one that strikes to my mind is the 2008 attack on
Which one?
the 2008 attack on
Where was
the
it?
Taj Hotel and
Only the Taj.
and the Parliament. The attack.
Are you
was-
confusing the Parliament attack with the one in 2008? When was the attack on the Parliament, Ms. Hamsa?
I cannot recall.
You don't
sir.
remember.
I cannot recall.
Now, the attack in 2008 is called the Mumbai terror attack. It's not just the Taj Hotel.
Yes,
The
sir.
Taj Hotel was one of the main sites. Now, which Pakistani organization was used by the deep state to carry it out?
So the ISI, I believe.
ISI is not a non-state actor. It is the intelligence wing of the Pakistani army.
Yes, sir.
But non-state actors. Can you tell me some of the non-state terrorist organizations in Pakistan which attack India? See, Pakistan is very
Islamic
important.
State Khorasan. Yes, sir.
Pardon? Tell me which.
ISI, the Islamic State Khorasan. No, I'll
terrorist-
read upon it, sir.
Which terrorist organization was used to attack Mumbai, the terror attacks?
So I'll read upon it.
Tell me some other prominent attacks. You look, Pakistan, terrorism is very important. Tell me some of the other terrorist attacks.
So I'll read on it, sir. I'm so sorry.
All right. Now, suppose you were to be posted as a foreign service officer to a neighboring country. Which one would you choose? Neighboring country.
Yes, sir. So Maldives, right now.
Maldives.
Yes, sir.
Now, what should be India's policy towards Maldives at the moment?
So at the moment it is a sober and mature response, and I believe that we have to stick to it.
What is
As
that?
our external minister has already said, that the internal politics of a country will play only a certain extent. However, we have to look at the long-term impacts of building people-to-people connect, and we are emerging as one of the first responders in case of emergency to Maldives. So
But they say India out.
yes, sir.
So what first response can you give? They didn't let your planes try and rescue that child who died.
Yes, sir.
So what should we do in that situation?
So in such situations, I do believe that we have to maintain forms of communication and work on better relations and finding strategic convergences, so we can have economic relations as well with and as well as people-to-people contact that we can
All right,
build.
few quick questions.
Yes, sir.
What was the most important decision taken at the BRICS summit which was held in August 2023?
So the inclusion of 6 new countries.
So were all 6 included?
Yes, sir, as members.
Are you
As
sure?
As far as I
Has
can
any
recall,
of them
yes.
refused to join?
Mm,
6
I
were
don't
invited.
recall. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Has any of them refused to join?
I cannot recall.
Which
So
are the
all
5
6.
which have joined?
So Iran, Ethiopia.
I think
You,
you need to take it over.
in-
It's very easy, you should, no problem. My last question.
Okay, sir.
On the sidelines of the G20 summit, we, along with a group of other countries, agreed on the setting up of the India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. What is the importance of this corridor for India?
Yes, sir. Firstly, this will help in building infrastructure and increasing trade relations with Central Asian countries as well as
Will it go
Middle
through
East.
Central Asia?
No, sir.
What is the route it will follow?
Yes, sir. Sir, right now we already.
It is called India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor, not India, Central Asia. Now tell me which countries it will go through. What
Yes, sir.
route it will follow.
So I believe that we already have a route to Iran.
Will
And
it
then,
go through Iran?
uh,
That means you haven't studied it yet.
I'll read it, sir.
America was a partner with us.
Yes, sir.
So do you think they will include Iran?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hamsa,
Yes,
freestyle dancing,
yes, sir.
is it similar to what Bollywood dancing is?
So not necessarily. Bollywood dancing will be one part of it. However, because it refers to going along with the music, there can be any element, sir. So I have personally done a little bit of belly dancing, a little bit of semi-classical as well. So
Any well-known dancer whom we can categorize as free dancer?
So in today's world, on a global scale, there is Matt Stefanina. In Indian context, Prabhudeva is also considered as a freestyle dancer.
All right. And you also like reading books, biography. So tell me some women leaders' biographies you have read.
Yes, sir. So the most recent one that I read was by on Indira Nooyi ma'am. It's written by Annapurna ma'am. She was the former CEO of PepsiCo. Secondly, I've read a memoir by Tara Westover ma'am called Educated. These 2 I can recall right now, sir, on women.
So you tell me one lesson you have learned from reading this book on Niyogi, and one thing that you can criticize her for, which is from this book.
Yes, sir. Something that I can learn is how inspiring a person she is. She had a great work-life balance, and secondly, she speaks
She had
about
a-
how
Great work.
work-life balance in terms
Are
of
you
how.
sure? She has said that she has not had balance.
Yes, sir.
She
But
ignored her family.
yes, sir. However, in the book, I was about to say that although it is believed that she has herself said that she had to compromise on her family time, she has taken a lot of initiatives in her own institute where cradles were provided, where community gatherings were there. Secondly, she talks about glass ceiling, and she says that glass ceiling is real. However, it's made of glass, so it's
Alright.
transparent and breakable.
Right. Now, women reservation bill was recently passed. There is much jubilation.
Yes, sir.
33% only, but women constitute 50%.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything to be rejoicing over?
Right now, the numbers are far lower. About 14% of our current parliament has women. So, in order to increase this, at least to some extent, the 33% was considered in the 106th Amendment. However, sir, I believe that we have to aim at increasing women's representation, not only on the basis of reservation, but because women are capable of becoming good leaders.
So, suppose you were to advise the political parties and all would look to you for that advice, how would you tell them to increase the women's participation so that we have a wider catchment of women? Just now, you have limited number of women.
Yes, sir.
How do you suggest? What are your suggestions?
Yes, sir. So firstly, to bring in intra-party democracy and representation of women within the parties, I believe Brazil is another country that has considered this. So secondly, we can persuade political parties in terms of the social traction that they will gain in terms of higher women representation. Thirdly, sir, we have to inform the political parties about the positive aspects of having women. So women-related problems are considered, and 50% of the voter base is much more sensitive to the party, sir. So in these ways, we can persuade parties.
All right. Now, you said you like international relation.
Yes, sir.
China is a big challenge. So tell me 2 ways how we can meet the China challenge.
Yes, sir. So firstly, building our soft power as a cultural leader and a leader of the global south. So we can build on how India is not only considerate of itself but also a lot of other developing countries. Secondly, sir, building on people-to-people contact with not only our neighboring countries but also having strategic relations with the greater powers. India is following a policy of relationship with US, Australia, etc.
Anything else? This will not meet the China challenge. Think again. Economy, defense.
Yes, sir. In economic and defense terms, we can also bring in, there are speculations of reconsidering the no first use policy as well in nuclear and defense terms. Moreover, we can also give economic, as we improve our own economy and become a 5 trillion economy, we can also give economic aid and have economic power to the neighboring countries as well.
Okay, thank you.